don't we? So that's why we're going to talk about the last two C's now, okay? Number 4 is characters. What do you think characters add to a story? Raise your hand if you'd like to share. I'll come to Haroon this time.
I think characters basically give the audience someone they can identify with.
Yeah.
Because ultimately, depending on how long you've got to tell a story, the more characters you've got, the more probability that there's someone in the audience will find someone they can identify with, so it can actually broaden your appeal.
Yeah, so there's a relatability factor.
Yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely. So that can be great for bringing your audience into the story because they can relate to a certain character. Teresa, were you going to say the same?
Yes, I think the people, we talked a little bit about this in our breakout room, about the people you meet that can cause this pivotal change, that people are sort of, who am I looking at? Yeah, people are sent into your life for a reason, I think, and that somebody can say something to you or say something at the right time. You don't do it on your own, basically. You do a lot of it on your own, but the people that you meet can have a big influence, and those characters are the ones that can help you change your direction, maybe.
Very well said. Very well said. We don't do it all alone. And by bringing those characters in, you make your story more realistic. Tom, were you going to say the same thing or something different?
A wee bit different. I think it stirs the imagination a little bit. It sort of gets you to picture someone in a situation, you know, like when you were talking about the big Glaswegian guy, you know, so that kind of involves you.
Yeah, well, you're so right. It does stimulate the imagination, you know, it helps people visualize, kind of get into that moment with you. So for all these reasons, characters are a brilliant addition to your story. And I want to talk to you today about The Lion King when it comes to characters. Raise your hand if you've seen The Lion King. Okay, at least more than It's a Wonderful Life there. That's good, that's good. Okay, so you'll be with me on this story. For those of you who haven't seen it, basically in The Lion King, there is a young cub called Simba. That's him there, okay? And basically, he is the heir to the throne of his kingdom, which his dad currently has. But what happens? Well, his uncle Scar kills his father and then discards Simba into the wild, tosses him out of the kingdom. I know, Disney, they keep it light for the kids, don't they? Anyway, on Simba's journey, he encounters a number of different characters. And one or two of these characters are these guys here. A warthog and a meerkat, I want to say. Now, if you've seen The Lion King, please tell me, what do these characters add to the story? What does that warthog and
comedy? A lot of comedy.
Yes, Louisa. Yes, comedy. They add a little bit of fun, a little bit of humor. And as you've just heard, if you think about it, The Lion King is actually a very dark story. So they actually lighten the mood a little bit there. And ultimately, if you can get people laughing in your story, you get them more invested in your story. So it could be a good idea for you to add a humorous character of some kind into your story. They could maybe have a bit of dialogue in your story, which creates a bit of laughter and heightens the engagement. Now, there's a quote which I love in speaking, which says, "The highest levels of engagement are directly after laughter." Never underestimate how powerful laughter can be. So that's character 1 that you could introduce. Character 2 in The Lion King is this baboon here. Now this is Simba. He's grown up a little bit more, he's got stronger, and he reconnects with this baboon character. Again, those of you who have seen The Lion King, what's the purpose of this guy? What does he do? Nathan?
It's like your guide to life, that somebody to kind of helps you figure out life, what to do next. So somebody to look up to, I think.
Yes, he's the mentor, right? He guides Simba, he encourages him to go back and face his Uncle Scar and reclaim the throne. And this kind of links back to what Teresa was talking about, how people help us get to where we want to go. we very rarely do things alone. And in your story, if you do make it so that if you do make it appear that you did everything on your own, that you just used all your grit and determination to get to where you are, people can't really relate to that. But they can relate to hearing about how someone helped you, picked up your confidence, and encouraged you to move forward. They can connect more with this. If we think back to my story at the beginning, the reason Jim is in there is, yeah, to create a little bit of humor now and again, but also because he acts as a mentor figure for me when it comes to getting into public speaking and giving it another go instead of walking away after only saying 2 words. So the question for you is, could you add in a mentor figure, which would help give your story a bit more structure, make it more believable and more relatable? Now, this mentor figure could be your mum, your dad, your brother, your sister, a friend, a colleague, someone you've just met. It could be anyone or anything for that matter. But having that there will give your story more credibility. But we're going to do another breakout room, okay? And I want you to discuss